Plus, Senate President canvasses creation of more states. Hello and welcome. This is NTA Network News. I am Aisha Bello Mustafa. President Goodluck Jonathan says government will continue to provide avenues for youth to rediscover themselves through sports by putting in place more sporting infrastructure. President Jonathan was speaking at the inauguration of the ultra-modern International Stadium in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. Correspondent Kene Imabudike reports.
Inaugurating the 30,000 capacity stadium amidst pomps and ceremonies, President Goodluck Jonathan said the uncommon transformation programs by Governor Godswill Akpabio in Akwa Ibom State has yielded a lot of positive achievements for the people. Accompanied by the presidents of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, and that of Cote d'Ivoire, Alassane Ouattara, President Jonathan urged the people of the state to take advantage of the edifice for the good of the state and the nation.
With infrastructure like this, shows clearly that this is the beginning of our journey to exploiting the big sports industry. Let me especially appreciate President Jerry Rawlings for joining us today to commission this stadium.
Earlier in his speech, Governor Godswill Akpabio described the edifice, which was built in 2 years, as a legacy that will stand the test of time.
I expect our youth to become overcomers in tennis, in football, in basketball, in boxing, in every field. I expect a new dawn of sports renaissance in our dear state and our dear country through this gathering today.
President John Dramani Mahama of Ghana commended the foresight of the Akwa Ibom state government in enriching the quality of life of the people.
This stadium be the nesting grounds of not only future Nigerian champions, but indeed future West African and African champions.
Some Nigerian musicians as well as calisthenics displays entertained guests at the event. Kenei Maburike, NTA News.
An extraordinary session of the ECOWAS heads of state and government on the Ebola virus disease has commended Nigeria and other African countries for their containment of the virus and urged them not to relent in fighting the disease to a finish. Abdullahi Garba Bernunkudu reports that Vice President Muhammad Namadi Sambo stood in for President Jonathan at the session held in Accra, Ghana.
With reported cases of more than 13,000, as confirmed by the World Health Organization, and deaths put at about 5,000, all in African countries, it is a matter of concern to these leaders. The leaders express appreciation on the level of commitment put by the African countries affected by the virus in the area of containment. Ghanaian President and Chairman of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government, Mr. John Dramani Mahama, says Ebola should not be seen as a West African problem, but a world issue that knows no boundary. He commended the response of the international community for their needed support and intervention, but said more needs to be done.
Ebola is still a serious matter, and we still have a lot of urgent work to do to defeat the virus and also seize the moment to strengthen our public health systems for the future.
We have been able to adopt the following technical far-reaching measures. 1. Make our regional response plan truly multi-sectoral. Redeploy WAHO technical staff in the 3 most affected countries.
Vice President Muhammad Namadi Sambo joined other leaders to sign various documents signifying the commitment of member nations to fighting the Ebola virus. The leaders expressed readiness for coordinated approach and sensitizing public against stigmatization of those affected and treated by the disease. Abdullahi Garba Bernunkudu, NTA News.
The police has confirmed a bomb explosion suspected to be carried out by a female suicide bomber at an ATM premises in Azare town of Bauchi State. The police public relations officer, Emmanuel Ojuku, confirms 13 people dead and 10 injured in the bomb blast. Those injured are receiving treatment at the Federal Medical Center, Azare. The medical director, Dr. Abdullahi Ibrahim, says they are responding to treatment. Meanwhile, 4 suspects have been arrested in connection with the incident. and normalcy has returned to some villages in Kankara and Jibia local government areas of Katsina State after attacks by unknown gunmen in Erzamia and Shimfida villages. Correspondent Aminu Ishaq Abbas reports that 22 people lost their lives while others sustained various degrees of injuries and are receiving treatment in hospitals.
Gunmen stormed Erzamia village in Kankara local government area on about 150 motorcycles, killing 15 people, while in Shimfida village, 7 people were killed in the separate attacks. Property worth millions of naira were destroyed as the attackers set the villages ablaze. Eyewitness told NTA News that the gunmen invaded the towns with the dangerous weapons and operated for more than an hour. They took away 44 cows and hundreds of sheep, in addition to snatching undisclosed number of motorcycles. The victims called on the state government and other security agencies to provide adequate security for them. Meanwhile, Katsina State House of Assembly has condemned the attack and urged the state government to provide relief materials to the affected victims. In Katsina, Aminu Ishaq Abbas, NTA News.
Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Amin Wali, has indicated Africa's readiness to fight terrorist groups and other cross-border criminal organizations. This was the outcome of a ministerial meeting of countries contributing troops to United Nations mission in Mali. Decisions taken at the meeting include strengthening regional cooperation, facilitating peace agreement among the parties in conflict, assessing the operational capacities of security forces, and the defense of the territorial integrity of Mali. Adequate and proper equipping of Nigeria's security agencies with modern gadgets has been described as panacea to the nation's security challenges. This came to light at a seminar on sustaining peace through cross-border security organized by the Department of State Security in Sokoto. Jabbi Ibrahim Abore has details.
A two-day seminar, which was organized in order to discuss issues of security at the border points control post, have in attendance the police, Nigerian Civil Defense Corps, the army, chairmen of local government areas across border points and their traditional rulers, officials of National Union of Road Transport Workers and Motorcycle Riders Associations, among others. Governor Ali Magatakadramako said unless the federal government worked sincerely and provided enough and state-of-art security equipment to security agents,
to give everything to security agencies. If we do that, for sure, what I would say that is that everyone should do his own portion of the assignment.
Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Saad Abakar III, said fighting insecurity is a collective responsibility of all Nigerians, regardless of their religious, political, and ethnic differences.
No matter what time of the night a new face comes into town, by morning, the village head, the district head, the sultan, or other person has the full knowledge.
Zonal Director, Travels and Aliens Control Department of State Service, Northwest Zone Sokoto, Mr. Riven Shina Amawo, said, among other things, the seminar was designed to check movement of aliens into the country and to curtail trans-border crimes. Director State Security Services in Sokoto State, Abubakar Bubuchi, said every Nigerian has a role in maintaining security of the nation. In Sokoto, Jabi Lela Dabore, NTA News.
Winning the war against the current insurgency in Nigeria requires patience and cooperation from all citizens, regardless of religion or ethnic affiliation. The Chief Imam of Apo Legislative Quarters Jumaat Mosque, Ustaz Nuruddin Khalid, noted this during the Friday sermon. Correspondent Aliu Tukur reports.
With the current security challenge in the country, the Chief Imam dwelt his sermon on the need for people to contribute their quota towards ending the insurgency by providing relevant information to security agencies.
First, you be vigilant. Don't take the law into your hands. And whenever you see something that needs the attention of the security, immediately inform them. And be patient. Don't think that you are going to rush things.
He also admonished people to be prayerful and appreciate God in whatever situation they find themselves in. The congregation, led by the chief imam, offered a special prayer for peace, unity and development in the country. In Abuja, Aliu Tukur, NTA News.
In another development, Vice President Muhammad Namadi Sambo, after Friday Jum'at prayer, joined other Muslim faithful to observe a special prayer at the Abuja National Mosque for a successful formal declaration of President Goodluck Jonathan for re-election in 2015. Imam of the National Mosque, Sheikh Musa Muhammad, led the prayers for a peaceful and hitch-free declaration. The formal declaration of President Jonathan has been fixed for Tuesday, the 11th of November. A federal high court in Abuja has extended the status quo ante order given to all concerned parties regarding the case of the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Aminu Waziri Tambuwal. This came from Justice Ahmed Ramat Muhammad after hearing arguments from the defendant. Judiciary correspondent Femi Okewu has the details.
Speaker Aminu Waziri Tambuwal had on Monday the 3rd of November applied for an ex parte order to stay all moves to either reopen the House and deny him the full complement of his security aids. But instead of granting that order ex parte, Justice Ahmed Ramat Muhammad told the defendants to come and show cause why the order should not be granted. That was what was done at Friday's hearing. First and second defendants, the PDP and its chairman, and the fifth and seventh defendants, Inspector General of Police and the Attorney General of the Federation, all filed a preliminary objection to the jurisdiction of the court to hear the case. 17th of November was fixed for the hearing of the main application, but before then, the court ordered for the status quo ante to be maintained on the position of the Speaker. Counsel gave different understanding of that order, particularly on the police aid of the Speaker.
I don't think the court is asking that security be restored because at the time they filed the action, security had been taken away. So the status quo when this action was filed was that the rights and privileges had been withdrawn.
The court says enjoy the peaceful atmosphere until we determine this suit.
So when you talk of status quo, it is that the position in which the Speaker was before he was divested of his security apparatus should continue to be. In other words, have those restored. Otherwise, it will be meaningless.
The diverse interpretation of the various parties as it concerns the security of the Speaker when the court says status quo must be maintained would only persist until the 17th of November when the court resumes sitting. That is a key item in the prayers of the plaintiff to the court. From the Federal High Court, Abuja, Femi Okewu, NTA News.
Senate President David Mark says creation of more states will take governance closer to the governed and broadened democratic structures. Senator Mark said this at the public presentation in Abuja of a book, The Measure of My Days, authored by General Geoffrey Ejiga. Correspondent Muhammad Abdul Qadir reports that former head of state General Yakubu Gowon attended the ceremony.
Senate President David Mark, while eulogizing the author, General Geoffrey Ejiga, as a patriotic Nigerian, described the second tier of government as a very important sector of governance in federalism.
People must feel the impact of government, and if there are more states, the more the states, the closer governance and government is to the people.
Remarks by key speakers, including the former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, described General Ejiga as an epitome of what the country stands for.
And I encourage all other officers to do the same, so that we can get the correct history.
The author, Geoffrey, went to the best school in Nigeria.
Contributed immensely to the development and the growth of our party in Benue State. One man who discharges responsibilities to the Nigerian nation as a military fine officer.
The book reviewer and the author
General Ejiga expressed optimism that Nigeria will win the war against terrorism.
We cannot afford to lose Boko Haram war. We must win it, and we can only win it if the armed forces do their job.
The book, The Measure of My Days by General Godfrey Ejiga, has 17 chapters captured in 418 pages, touching on critical national issues, including his account of the Civil War years. The name of General Ejiga has been written in gold as one of the gallant soldiers who fought to keep the country one. From the Sheikh Musa Yaradua Center, Abuja, Muhammad Abdel Kadri, NTA News.
Emir of Ilorin, Alhaji Ibrahim Sulu Gambari, has described President Goodluck Jonathan as a focused leader who is passionate about transforming Nigeria into a great nation. The Emir spoke when First Lady Dame Patience Jonathan visited his palace during the distribution of empowerment materials to women of Kwara State. State House correspondent Makut Simon Macham reports.
The palace of the Emir of Ilorin, Alhaji Ibrahim Sulu Gambari, was the First Lady's immediate destination as she arrived Kwara State for the distribution of empowerment materials to women of the state. She told the Emir that her visit to the state was in continuation of her nationwide empowerment program through her non-governmental organization, the Women for Change and Development Initiative.
We have come to empower your women, to empower the women of Kwara State.
The Emir, who acknowledged her vast reputation as a caring mother and friend of the poor, said he is not surprised of her achievements, as President Goodluck Jonathan is a kind-hearted leader who means well for Nigeria.
This dispensation, this administration, can boast as being the best among all who have made position available for women in Nigeria. I wish him the best of luck in Nigeria. It's already good luck. So
at the Ilorin Stadium, a large crowd of women from across the state converged to receive the empowerment materials mobilized by the First Lady. Dame Patience Jonathan reminded them that her passion is to see that they were empowered and given every opportunity to prosper, a desire that has found favor before President Goodluck Jonathan.
For the first time in Nigeria, women are recognized, respected, heard, and given opportunities to be equal partners in the developmental efforts of our dear nation.
The wife of Kwara State Governor and her counterparts from Kogi, Benue and Cross River described the First Lady as a gift to the nation. Minister of National Planning, Dr. Abubakar Suleiman, businesswoman Bola Shagaya and other politicians from Kwara State said Goodluck Jonathan remains the choice of the state in 2015. The PDP national woman leader and other speakers canvassed support for the re-election of President Goodluck Jonathan, who has done well for Nigerians. The state officials of the Women for Change and Development Initiative were sworn in by the national coordinator of the Women for Change, Princess Rabi Ibrahim. I am Makut Simon Macham, NTA News.
Up ahead, court stops Cross River PDP from acting on Ward Congress delegate list. This and more after the break. Join us again.
Of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood.
Change is never easy. It was not easy for Dr. Martin Luther King when Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew transformed Singapore from third world to first world. It was not easy. They stoned him. It was not easy for Nelson Mandela.
I, Barack Hussein Obama.
It was not easy for Barack Obama. Nothing worthwhile ever is. Dr. Martin Luther King did it. Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew did it. Nelson Mandela did it. Barack Obama did it. Goodluck Jonathan is doing it. He is transforming Nigeria. Mr. President, keep doing it. We who are with you are so many more than those who are against you. A message from protectors of Nigerian posterity.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday,
my former students.
Every day, life is made better by the moments of surprise we create for others and for ourselves. Be better. Surprise someone this season and make sure to text 11 to 400 to get a surprise from MTN. MTN, everywhere you go.
The Dettol and Ministry of Health team is visiting schools to teach children how to protect themselves from diseases.
Do you know what germs are? They are tiny, harmful, living things that you pick up from dirty surfaces. These germs can make you ill and prevent you from doing all the things you like to do with friends. That's why you need to fight them by washing your hands regularly with Dettol soap.
Mom, today we learned how to fight germs with Dettol soap.
The most exciting event of the year is here. 42 years ago, God spoke to a man, go take my word to the world. It's Jubilee World Festival. Team Talita Kumi, Arise 2015. Speakers Bishop Wayne Malcolm from UK, Bishop John Francis from UK, Pastor Philip Thomas from UK, Pastor Jonathan Miller from USA, Dr. Felisa Mobode from Benin, Nigeria, Bishop Mike Okonkwo from Lagos, Nigeria. Music by Frank Edward from Lagos, Lara George from Lagos, Sonny Badu, UK, Fashion Michelle, USA, Gospel Melody Voices, Milk and Honey Choir, and others. Chief host Papa Ayo and Mama Helen Orisha Jaffo. Date Sunday the 9th to Sunday the 16th of November 2014. Time 3 p.m. daily. On Sundays 8 a.m. one service. Venue the prestigious auditorium of Word of Life Bible Church International Gospel Center at Jamimoga Warri, Delta State, Nigeria. No matter your challenges, Talita Kumi, arise.
Sheyi Makinde, stimulating attitudinal changes and initiating radical thinking. Sheyi Makinde, the man of his words, an achiever per excellence, imbibing public confidence and enlist mass participation in governance. Sheyi Makinde, a philanthropist, driving a collective vision of a people of your state in a unique way. Sheyi Makinde, a man of the people and a silent achiever. Sheyi Makinde can be trusted to do more.
We will change the future of our state for the better.
Sheyi Makinde, the man for change.
The 5th anniversary coronation of His Imperial Majesty, Oba Dr. Frederick Enyiti Olorunda Obaterun Akinrutan, and the confirmation of chieftaincy title on Professor Toyin Falola and his wife, Right Honorable Emeka Ihedioha, CON, and his wife. Chief host, Dr. Olusegun Abayomi Mimiko. Date, Saturday, November 2014. Venue, Obama King Osagangan Multipurpose Event Center, Odo Ugbo of Ondo State.
It's not a question of place.
It's not a question of temperature.
It's not a question of dedication. In fact, it's not a question at all.
Energy has to be better. It's our responsibility.
And our commitment to make it better.
For all of us.
Total, committed to better energy.
Fly safe, fly Azman. Yes, we are. Azman Air is a brand new airline with a reputable passenger safety and care. Flies smooth domestic and charter services to all places of our customers' choice throughout the world. Azman Air has been an excellent luxurious business class cabin in all our flights. Azman Air covers Kano, Kaduna, Abuja, Lagos, Port Harcourt, Yola, Sokoto, Binding, Kebbi, and many more. In Azman, airtime is our consciousness. We took off on time and learned in time. Fly Azman Air 10 times and get a free ticket. Contact us at Azman Air Customer Care at Hamdala Hotel, Kaduna, Transcorp Hilton, Abuja, MM2 Lagos, and Azman Air Head Office, number 1 Zaria Road, Kano, GSM 081-1397-6308. Our website is www.airazman.com. You can send us email on info@airazman.com. Azman Air, we make flying affordable.
Turning to political matters now, the Independent National Electoral Commission and the Alternative Dispute Resolution Directorate are working together to engage stakeholders in electoral matters towards application of conflict resolution in Nigeria's electoral process. To this end, the two bodies organized a one-day workshop for media practitioners in Abuja. Abdullahi Garba Bernunkudu reports.
Focusing on conflict-sensitive reporting, the workshop is to ensure journalists take their rightful place as change agents in managing crises through the application of principles of professional reporting.
Build confidence, reduce suspicion and fear, and show that reconciliation is possible.
Continued engagement with all stakeholders, there's continued enlightenment and continued discussions with all stakeholders, telling them what role they to play, finding out their roles, and asking them to do it responsibly, patriotically, and the very best interests of the nation.
The session dwelt on issues such as media ownership and control, with relevant stakeholders from INEC, MBC, and practitioners chatting the way.
Even the choice of words used in reporting political and electoral news can generate conflict sometimes.
INEC Chairman Professor Attahiru Jega represented pledged to extend similar workshops to other stakeholders in electoral matters. In Abuja, Abdullahi Garba Bernunkudu, NTA News.
The transformation agenda of President Goodluck Jonathan has been described as a laudable initiative that must be allowed to continue beyond 2015. Some of the PDP aspirants who submitted their nomination and expression of interest forms made this remark on the party's national secretariat in Abuja. Political correspondent Femi Johnson reports.
The PDP National Secretariat is still a beehive of activities as governorship and National Assembly aspirants submit their forms. They express hopes that the party's primaries fixed for later in the month will be transparent.
All the 4 local governments are represented. I pay all the party chairmen 100,000 each for the past 7.5 years. I have just finished a 250-bed hospital. None, as my colleagues have done that, whether in Senate or in the House of Representatives.
We have a program for youth empowerment, massive infrastructural development.
We need to organize IMO, we need to clean up IMO, we need to plan it out.
On the President Transformation Agenda, they are optimistic that they will not relent on it if the party gives them the mandate to serve.
I would want the people to be empowered, the people to have the money and to invest in the state by themselves.
I have the exposure, I have the track record, and I have all it takes to be able to govern Imo State.
Imo State today requires a special program to revitalize our society, to put a clear plan for development.
Dr. Hamad Inua also declared for Kaduna Central Senatorial seat after youths in 7 local government areas urged him to go ahead by purchasing the form for him. In Abuja, Femi Johnson, NTA News.
Meanwhile, former governor of Imo State, Ikedi Ohakim, says his decision to come back as governor is to complete most of the infrastructural projects and improve the life of every common man in the state. He said this while reflecting on the positive achievements he recorded and plans to do more if given another mandate to return. Here again is Femi Johnson.
The former governor of Imo State, who was accompanied by numerous supporters, is grateful to the artisans who paid for his form and also urged him to return.
He meant very well for us. He's the one who knows the type of building artisans in the state are living.
We saw in him a man that has quality of a good leader.
While submitting the nomination form, Chief Ikedi says Imo State will witness a turnaround again if given another chance.
I have nothing to learn today. As soon as we get into government house, we can hit the ground running. We can recall back all demolished institutions. We know how to rebuild them. We can begin to address the issue of quality, both in education and infrastructure.
The former governor also promised more developmental projects and urged the people of Imo State to give him the mandate to be their governor again. In Abuja, Femi Johnson, NTA News.
The Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has given an interim injunction restraining the People's Democratic Party from taking any step or act on any purported list of candidates from the Ward Congress held in Cross River State on the 1st of November 2014. Justice Adeni Ademola, ruling on a suit on behalf of delegates in the Cross River State PDP Congress, said the order was pending the determination of a motion on notice before the court. The task of ensuring credible elections is a collective responsibility that requires the cooperation of leaders and followers. National Youth Leader of Good Luck 2015 project, Aniafok Akman, gave the advice at a media briefing in Abuja, where he reiterated the organization's commitment to educating youth on the need to avoid election violence. He further called on youth to support the administration's transformation agenda by taking advantage of the empowerment program to contribute positively to nation building.
To call on all Nigerian youths to support the continuity of the ongoing transformation agenda by President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan GCFR by coming out in mass to support this man that God has brought to us, the finest president in the world, this humble man that God has brought to us to lead Nigeria to the promised land.
In other news, trade promotion and investing in African film industry, ethics and values was the title of a seminar to usher in the Zulu African Film Academy Awards 2014 in London, the United Kingdom. Hawa Yusuf Funtua reports that the Director General, Nigerian Television Authority (NTA), Mr. Shola Omole, presented a paper on the role of the media at the event.
Defining the purpose of the African film industry, the Director General of NTA, Mr. Shola Omole, says the industry is tailored towards creating economic opportunity for the entire crew through promoting trade and investment as well as prosperity for a better world.
If it has not grown, it would not be making the kind of contribution to the GDP that we're talking about today. The number of jobs that have been created out of this industry, I wish somebody could take account.
Mr. Shola Omole also emphasized on private sector partnership in the industry.
This venture, I guarantee you, this is the rate of return. Because as a private investor, if I cannot be guaranteed a reasonable rate of return, I'm going to take my capital somewhere else. Develop a good product, find a creative way to fund it such that somebody can make some profit out of that venture. That's my basic premise.
The organizer of Zafar Global Award, Sam Anguzia, representative of the British film industry, the Director General of Film and Video Censorship, Special Assistant to President Jonathan on Ethics and Values, and other speakers emphasized on collaborative efforts to maximize the industry.
Expect people to invest into film if they know the pipe, because it's the fastest money making thing. If you release a good film on Monday with 50 million and can put it in at least 20 cinema houses, you get your money 1 week, 50 million.
Two executive directors from the NTA were at hand to speak on the partnership with Zafar and the introduction of Nollywood Cafe.
The spectrum is wide. We need a lot of content. When we have content, it means we have viewership. When the viewership is large, advertisers will put their money into NTA.
Well, Nollywood Cafe is an entertainment magazine program where the segments will have what's happening in the Nollywood industry in real time, what's happened in the past, and interviews with top-notch Nollywood personalities.
The Deputy Nigerian High Commissioner to the UK, Ambassador Kunle Gbangboshe, declared the event open. From London, Hawa Yusuf Funtua, NTA News.
Distribution of voters' cards commences in Lagos. We now join Vera in our Lagos Network Center. Hello, Vera. You're on.
Thank you, Aisha. Good evening and welcome to Lagos. The Independent National Electoral Commission says it has extended its working hours and days to make up for the delay experienced in the distribution of permanent voters' card in the 11 local government areas of Lagos State in the first phase of the exercise. Lagos Resident Electoral Commissioner Adekunle Ogunmola made this known in Lagos while appealing to prospective voters to bear with the commission. Olajide Bello reports.
St. David's Primary School, Lafayette, Lagos Island, was the first port of call by NTA News, where a scanty number of people were seen patiently waiting for INEC officials to show up for the exercise.
I'm surprised that we've been here since 8 o'clock and we've not seen any of the agents. So, but being a good Nigerian, we have to stay. At least we'll give them till 4 o'clock.
They don't appear at all. You can see people that are here, they are already stand by to collect the card.
So they said that by 8 o'clock, all their officers are going to be here. But now we are here since 8 o'clock. We didn't see any of their representatives.
A visit to INEC office of Lagos Island local government showed that personnel were on ground sorting out the permanent voters card for onward distribution to the various wards and polling units. At Olangbon Street off Antoni in Koshofe and Ward 1 Ikeja local government areas, INEC officials were absent.
If this continue like this, we are going nowhere. We are all assembled here since morning. We have been roaming around the whole places, checking if you can see the people, nowhere to be found.
You can see me roaming around to see maybe they miss their way. I have not seen anybody.
We learned that there are also local government who are exempted from this exercise. But Ikeja was mentioned to be part of the people they will be able to cover today, but we are surprised they are not here up to now.
The Lagos INEC Resident Commissioner Adekunle Ogunmola explains the delay.
You see, this delay was not caused by the people, by the electorate. It was caused by INEC. What we are going to do is, number one, we are going to extend the collection time to 5 o'clock daily and give another 1 day extra to compensate for this delay.
Adekunle Ogunmola therefore appeals to the electorate to come out en masse as the commission is poised to carry out its duties. In Lagos, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
Osun State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal, sitting in Osogbo, has adjourned till Monday, the 10th of November, to enable the PDP candidate in the 9th August gubernatorial election, Senator Yola Omishere, open his case. Senator Omishere is challenging the victory of the APC candidate. Governor Rauf Aregbesola Olabode Arawa has more.
Resumed sitting on Thursday, the tribunal ruled that it will address the 3 issues it formulated for determination. These are whether the first respondent validly won the governorship election and whether the election was conducted in line with the 2010 Electoral Act as amended. The tribunal said it is also ready to determine whether the petitioner, Senator Yola Omishere, should be declared winner of the election. The tribunal therefore directed the PDP to begin its case next Monday. The tribunal said the PDP will have 14 days to call witnesses, while the first and second respondents will also have 14 days in total to call their witnesses. Each witness will have 20 minutes to give oral evidence. The tribunal therefore called for cooperation of all the parties to the case.
If we are granted the opportunity of more hands at INEC office, within the next 3 or 4 days, we'll be able to complete all that we need to do.
We have applied for adjournment till Monday for them to open their case. We objected to that because they were the ones that have been crying wolf that we had been delaying the hearing of the petition.
Further hearing continues in Osogbo. Olabode Arewa, NTA News.
Up next is business news with Abdullahi Mohammed.
Joining us on Business News, my name is Abdullahi Mohammed. Although the ongoing power sector reform has brought significant investment into the sector and improved power supply, the pace of the dividends of the reform, some stakeholders say, has been slow compared to what obtains in the privatized communications sector. Considering the critical role power supply plays in economic development, as well as the high technical and investment demands of the sector, analysts say government must make more concession if the aspirations of the power reforms are to be realized as scheduled.
Power issue
in a developing economy like ours should not be seen as a purely business or commercial issue. It should be seen more as a development issue. Because if you leave the power issue purely in the realm of business, the economy will suffer. So there has to be a balance between the objectives of business and the government.
To the analysis of the movement of stocks on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange now. The market closed today with investors buying shares valued at 13.3 billion naira in 4,188 deals. It was 11.425 trillion, while the all-share index closed at 34.494.93 point. Top on the Guinness chart was NACO. It closed 4 naira 83 kobo, adding 4 kobo to the value of its shares. WAPCO led the losers to close 18 naira 88 kobo. And that's business news tonight. Thanks for being part of it. The news continues shortly.
Airtel, always on with destination news. Airtel Internet, the smartest network for your smartphone. Dial *401# to activate.
There are those that want to divide Nigeria, to take us back to another time. But the future belongs to you, and the better future is the one we are building together. Together, we have built the largest economy in Africa. And now, we must lift up every Nigerian child, strengthen education in every corner of the country, keep building the infrastructure of a modern society, the roads that bring commerce, the energy and water and prosperity to lift up every family. So, to those that want to divide Nigeria, we say the future is hard work, but we are building it together. We can't go back. The future belongs to us. Good luck, Jonathan. One Nigeria. Moving forward together.
Africa. Some see it as a land of challenges. We see it as a land of endless opportunities, where success comes from hard work and determination, and having a strong partner. Boxer, engineered to be stronger, engineered to last longer. Because to make it in Africa, you need to be stronger for longer. Boxer, made stronger to last longer.
Auntie! Oh, hello, my dear. I see you went shopping with your mom, right? And what did you buy?
Power Oil. It has 0 cholesterol and 0 trans fats, and contains vitamin A and natural vitamin E. It's a healthy oil for a healthy family.
I'll buy Power Oil next time I go shopping, huh?
Power Oil, healthy for you.
22 artists, 44 collaborations, 5 countries, 9 episodes.
Coke Studio, baby.
Catch Coke Studio Africa Season 2 every Saturday from the 13th of September at 7 p.m. on AIT.
Johnny S5.5, the slimmest in the world. Johnny, to be needed, to be loved.
Love is the greatest of all virtues. The Holy Bible and the Holy Quran tell us so. Love is not boastful. Love is humble, cool under pressure. Love is hope for the next generation. Love is the North, East, West, and South living in unity. Love is progress despite adversity. It makes the impossible possible. Love is a secure nation with prosperity for all. Love is transformation. We need more love. Goodluck Jonathan, driven by love for God and country. Mr. President, we appreciate you. We who are with you are so many more than those who are against you. A message from protectors of Nigerian posterity.
Shea butter has significant economic value in the Nigerian domestic market and is also a big foreign exchange earner, which can help to eradicate poverty, particularly among the rural dwellers. In this report, Khadijat Akombi examines efforts to tap the potential of shea butter trees, which are found in abundance in Niger State.
The shea butter trees grow in large numbers in all the 25 local government areas of Niger State. Over the years, the state has not benefited optimally from its large deposit of shea butter trees due to poor method of collection of shea nuts, handling and processing, which result to inferior quality of the butter produced. However, the story is now changing due to the intervention of FADAMA, German Agency for International Cooperation (GIZ), and the present administration in Niger State.
But right now we have over 40 groups that we have assisted with grants.
We are able to at least facilitate the formation of 86 women processor groups. We also try to introduce best practices in terms of production, in terms of processing, and in terms of marketing.
The Shea Butter Village is essentially a one-stop shop that addresses all the challenges associated with producing quality shea butter.
The factory has a raw material store, roasting, boiling and frying shed, crushing machine, milling room, finished product store and packaging room, among others. For the leader of the women group operating the factory, the use of modern method to process the shea nuts is not only a relief from the old energy sapping method, but a good source of income as their product is now exported to other countries due to its good quality.
We are producing good quality shea butter using the modern method, and our life is better for it.
The intervention of FADAMA through the provision of funds for the purchase of modern shea butter processing tools is also impacting positively on many FADAMA user women groups. The women have now adopted modern method of processing the shea butter through the parboiling method, use of modern roaster and crusher rather than the local pounding and frying method, which reduce the quality of the shea butter.
People who had no interest in shea butter business are now joining us. We still need the kneading machine so that we can do away with the energy sapping method of manual kneading.
The shea butter is not only in high demand outside the country, but also in Nigeria, especially by cosmetics industry.
We do the shea butter cream, shea butter lotion, and shea butter balm. Almost 10 products from shea butter.
If the current efforts to promote the production of shea butter is sustained and improved upon, it will not only create employment opportunities for more Nigerians, but also enhance foreign exchange earnings for the country. In Mina, I am Khadijat Akombi.
The need to train service providers to maximize the potential of the tourism industry in the country has been emphasized. The Director General of the National Institute of Hospitality and Tourism said this during a visit to Chief Edwin Clark in Abuja. Abdullahi Iyaji reports.
Chief Edwin Clark underscored the importance of skill enhancement in the development of tourism, stating that quality education is a legacy he wants to bequeath to the younger generation by the establishment of the Edwin Clark University.
I will do my best to see that your institute grows from strength to strength. Because what we need, as I said earlier on, is tourism. Let people know your country.
The National Institute of Hospitality and Tourism is keen on making tourism more effective for income generation in the country.
So we're going to work hard with the people who are already established in the industry to get their staff trained and retrained, most likely on site, because I know it's going to be hard and a challenge for them to release their staff to come for training, while we then encourage new entrants into the industry to come to our campuses for the training.
The Institute conferred the honor of Life Patron on Chief Edwin Clark for his contribution towards education and youth empowerment in Nigeria. The National Institute for Hospitality and Tourism is taking the development of the tourism sector a notch higher by this visit. It is aimed at partnership with the Chief Edwin Clark University to develop potentials of students and practitioners in the tourism sector. In Abuja, I'm Abdullahi Suleiman Iyaji, NTA News.
The chairman, SHOPE, General Martin Luther Agwai, says the education sector may be included in the interventions by SHOPE. General Agwai said this when the rector, Nigerian Army Institute of Technology and Environmental Studies, Makudi, Brigadier General Clement Ojo, paid him a courtesy call. Muhammad Abdul Qadir reports.
In line with its mandate, SHOPE has been carrying out intervention in various sectors. Deficits in roads, rails, and bridges are being reduced to meet national needs. However, education remained in the probatory list of various interventions by SHOPE, as disclosed by its chairman, General Martin Luther Agwai, during the rector's visit.
Next year's budget is still being worked on. If federal government includes education and includes things we will recommend.
The institution has some challenges which include lack of administrative blocks, hostel, laboratory equipment, and professional books.
The Nigerian Army Institute of Technology and Environmental Studies was established in 2012 and upgraded from monotechnic to polytechnic with over 2,000 students of 25% military and 75% civilian population. The bill establishing the Nigerian Army Institute of Technology and Environmental Studies is before the National Assembly awaiting third reading. In Abuja, Muhammad Abdul Qadir, NTA News.
Time now for another break. We'll be right back.
Transformation ambassadors of Nigeria.
My good people of Nigeria, does anybody use mirror to look at what they have at hand?
No!
Good luck at the ingredients of life. Automobile industries, full encouragement. Second Niger bridge from mirage to reality.
Good luck!
Railways, seaports and airports are come back to modern life.
Good luck!
Or a Benin highway and other federal highways from dead trap to modern spectacle.
Good luck!
There you are. Petrol and nyaf with control price and so many other etc. Good luck I do. Good luck are going to do. And good luck will be yours. Are you see what I'm saying? Only good luck affects the security challenges of Nigeria with honesty and commitment. Fighting terrorism to a halt.
Make good luck continue for Nigeria.
This message is brought to you courtesy Transformation Ambassadors of Nigeria. Done for one vision, Nigeria.
I need a great deal, the best price I can get. That's why I shop on Jumia.
Quality you can trust. You can count on us.
Nationwide delivery.
We make shopping easier. Nation delivery. When you shop on Jumia, when the radio shine.
Get the incredible Angel smartphones starting from 13,999 naira at jumia.com.ng. Jumia, the online shop you can trust.
The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, is working in line with the transformation agenda of the President, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, to ensure access to safe, good quality essential medicines with the World Health Organization pre-qualification of made in Nigeria pharmaceutical products, stiffer penalties for fake drug offenders with a review of NAFDAC laws, national, regional, and international collaborations, introduction of cutting-edge technologies, including the mobile authentication service.
I'm particularly impressed with the introduction of mobile authentication service, which makes it very easy for the ordinary people themselves to be able to identify drugs that are fake.
And I urge all Nigerians, irrespective of wherever they are, to key into it.
Let us support NAFDAC to win the war against fake drugs and other unwholesome regulated products. NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation.
Bragging is not President Goodluck Jonathan's style, so you'd hardly hear him brag about all the great things he is doing for Nigeria. He wouldn't tell you he's the first president to privatize power, to give us a constant supply of electricity and economic prosperity. Soon your electricity will be like your mobile phones, 24 hours, 7 days a week. He won't brag about security, new roads, new rail, or new airports, eliminating corruption in agriculture and saving $25 billion per year, mass housing projects, or that our economy is growing at the fastest rate in the world. He wouldn't brag about any of it because he knows there's a lot more to be done. Mr. President, right on. We that are with you are so many more than those who are against you. A message from protectors of Nigerian posterity.
On the foreign scene, Burkina Faso leader dismisses African Union threat, says stabilizing the nation is his priority, and President Barack Obama sends letter to Iran on fighting Islamic State. These and more on Global Tidbits with Ronke Kolawole.
Burkina Faso interim leader Lieutenant Colonel Isaac Zida has dismissed the imposition of African Union that power must be handed over to civilians within 2 weeks. Zida said he is not afraid of sanctions but cares more about stability in the country. Report from the United States says the country's policy towards Iran has not changed. Hence, President Obama has written Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, about the campaign against Islamic State insurgents. This is a follow-up to the one written to the Iranian leader last month on their shared interest regarding Islamic State. Now, China and Japan have agreed to working on improving ties, signaling the readiness to end the row over disputed islands to set the tone for their leaders to meet at an Asian-Pacific summit next week. Relations between the two countries have been sourced for the past 2 years to put an end to territorial row, regional rivalry, and the bitter legacy of Japan's wartime occupation of China. For Global Tidbits, Ronke Kolawole, NTA News.
And just before we go, remember, it is your right to challenge anybody suspected to be involved in unwholesome activities around you. Be security conscious. This message is from the Directorate of State Security. And that concludes Network News tonight. From all of us here, thank you for watching.
Nigeria, our most prized heritage, has become a better country courtesy of the transformation agenda of President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. With massive investment in power supply infrastructure, affordable and effective healthcare delivery, a refocused education system, and good motorable roads. The railway system has been restored and modernized, and more airports have been remodeled and rehabilitated than at any other time in Nigeria's history. Our farmers are happier, and cash crops exports are growing. No wonder, today we are Africa's biggest economy.
Mr. President, keep up the good work. This message is brought to you by Community Awareness and Development Network, Kawan.
FRCN, NTA and VON annual service of 9 lessons in Christmas carols is here again.
The program, which started over 10 years ago in Abuja as a local carol night, has grown into a national affair.
It's an exhibition of classical and Nigerian Christmas songs and carols,
featuring spirit-lifting renditions and inspiring messages in celebration of the living Christ.
Celebrated groups like the Lars Ekweme Choral Group will be there.
Theme, celebrating the Prince of Peace.
Venue, National Christian Center, Abuja.
Date, Sunday, 14th December 2014.
Time, 3 p.m.
Message giver, Senior Pastor, Dunamis International Gospel Center, Dr. Paul Enenche.
For sponsorship details, call 0803-303-7678
0803-704-3300
or 0802-722-2869.
Coming live on Radio Nigeria, NTA and Voice of Nigeria, Sunday, December 14, 2014.
The FRCN, NTA and VON annual service of 9 lessons and Christmas carols,
making Christmas memorable for you.
This local government will now take us serious.
for anybody who not just hold the motor. 50,000. 50,000.
Come from the car. Come from the car. Come 50,000.
The National Committee Against Touting, NCAT, is arresting anyone who collects levies, tax on mounted roadblock, as this is contravening the law. So together, let's work towards a tout-free public, Nigerian ports, highways, motor garages, and protect our travelers, investors, and transporters. Let's say no to touting any day, anywhere, and anytime. For inquiries, call 0708 904 2551 or 0803 709 5537. NCAT, keeping security watch on touts and criminals. This message is from the Office of the National Director Operations, National Committee Against Touting, NCAT, Abuja.